Hello, everyone. I'm going live. We're live. I have the Zoom room open. And if you want to come hang out and have some vocal chat and speak as we are here and draw and chat, you can join the Zoom room. But being here on YouTube is great. That puts the watch hours up. Also, your engagement. Say hello in the chat. And feel free to just communicate as we draw together. We have 5 references that we're going to work from today. So it'll be a relatively short stream, about an hour. And tomorrow is going to be the last day to sign up for my facial features course because I want to keep the focus of the group. A lot of people have been doing the work from the first module and you still have a chance to get in and kind of catch up and keep going with the group together. I'm really looking forward to the group dynamic of people working through the lessons at the same time because we will be having live sessions as well. The first one of those is tomorrow for the course. So we've got up until tomorrow to join, and then for now, registration will be closed for the course. So sign up today. And so many of you already have, and it's really wonderful having you in the course. It's going to be really cool. I think there are about 70 people signed up at the moment, which is amazing. Kiki is here, Cindy, Lewis, Martina, June, Astrid, Rachel and Lisbeth, it's so nice to have you all here. June says the address is invalid. Which one? Zoom? Interesting. I'll look into that in a moment. But otherwise, it's the same Zoom link that I use for Tuesdays and that I often use. So it should be working. There are lots of links in the description. Hello, Corinna. And if you want to read through, you'll find out all sorts of things. Where is that Zoom link? It should be down. Also, the Discord server. The references we're going to be working from today from my Discord server that I've been sharing every day, but I haven't been able to keep up. So I'm going to catch up with a few of them today. And we're going to be doing 10-minute portraits. And I'm going to work with the calligraphy pen. And you can use whatever you like. Hi, Luca and Jeeb. Welcome. Jeeb, you're awake. Are you usually awake at this time? Corinna's awake as well, so maybe, why not? Laura. Okay, down the bottom of the description, there is a Zoom link, and it should take you to Zoom. And Chris is kind of backing me up in Zoom and letting people in. And now we're going to start sketching. If you can't get into Zoom, then maybe next time, and we'll sketch now together. So a couple of things are happening. All sorts of things are happening right now. But the Kanyo Sketch It Challenge is a month-long challenge to fill a sketchbook. And I'm going to be working into my little sketchbook for that challenge. It's little, but it has a lot of pages. So I'll go over to my workspace right now. Is anyone else here doing a October challenge? Hello, Navid. Hello, Lisa Marie. It's wonderful having you all here. I'm going to start drawing now. Feel free to chat as much as you like in the chat. And normally I do a giveaway during these streams, and I give away one of the drawings, but they're all going to be in this sketchbook. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But maybe I'll just do another sketch for you. So if you want to say that you want to win in the chat. Jeev is not really awake. Just a zombie checking out the stream. Cool. Because Jeeb, I was thinking for the course, I'm going to do some lives and imagining that for those who are in different time zones, who are usually asleep around this time, I'm going to offer a couple of live meetups, which are going to be the middle of the day, my time, and hopefully will be compatible for other time zones. So that message will be going into the community for the course, and I hope that will enable other people to be able to join. It'll be like Sunday midday my time, a couple of days, I'm not sure which one yet. Let's sketch. So 10-minute portraits, and we have 5 references today, and I'm so happy to have you all here. Hello, Brigitte. All right, so far Martina's going to win. If you want to win the giveaway, I'm not sure what the prize is going to be yet. It'll be a sketch, but we'll see. All right, 10 minutes. I'm going to use this. I realized last weekend during the live stream, this is a Hairlitz calligraphy pen. Faber-Castell do a very similar one. There are a bunch of similar ones, but the important thing, it has a broad nib. And it's Inktober as well, so why not? Ink is great. Here's my timer. I'll put it on 5 minutes and then 5 minutes again. So halfway I'll be like, oh, okay, half time. Milutin Dielas, perhaps. Welcome from Toronto. Nice to have you here. If you feel like letting us know where you are geographically, feel free. Let's start sketching now. Okay, so this, by the way, is Michelle Sauna, or Sauna, of Japanese Breakfast. And this month I've been focusing, last month was all profiles. And this month, the idea is the head in every direction. So I thought this one is really interesting because it's a profile, but it's also like this below angle, like a frog's eye view, and she's leaning back. And it's just super cool image. So I thought this one would be interesting because of the profile and the tilt. Really, really cool. So that's my thinking here. And I'm going to put the timer on and we'll start sketching. It was a really cool month focusing on profiles. Let us know in the chat if you were sketching along with the profiles. Almost every day for almost a year, I've been sharing daily reference. In December, it will have been a year. And yeah, in my Discord server, which is open to everyone, there is a daily reference chat. And each month I have a different theme and share a curated selection of reference images. And it's really cool seeing people sketch along with them. And so many of you do so much amazing stuff. And it's been really cool. Recently, I've been very busy with my new course. Behind the scenes, and I haven't had time to keep up my daily sketching, but other people have been doing it, and that is so cool to see. Those of you who are keeping it up, keeping going with the daily references, it's really awesome. So I figured today would be a nice opportunity to try and catch up on some of the daily references, because I will catch up on all of them. They're all awesome, and I'm really excited to draw them all. I realized after the live stream ended last weekend on Sunday, where I thought I'm going to talk about the materials and what we're going to be doing in the course. An important part of the course is the quick sketch practice with which I use this pen. And I realized after the stream, I didn't even talk about this pen. I just used the colored pencils the whole time. So I thought we can talk about it today. Because working with ink, I think, is super cool. Challenging, can be very confrontational, but it really gets you paying attention to what you're doing and considering your mark making, or you just charge in and then you're like, have to live with the consequences, which is also a very good lesson. This would be a tough angle, Jeeb. It is a tough angle, isn't it? But I'm wondering, I sent to my mailing list this bunch of tutorials, and I've come to realize that things can be very tough, very challenging, but there's a way of looking when we're drawing by eye and just constantly comparing things with, like, where is this mark? How do I know where to put the chin and the jaw? Oh, let's look down at the neck. How is the neck in alignment with the ear and the back of the neck? And there's like, once we've got stuff down, there's always something to look at and something to compare to. And so part of the practice with that observational drawing by eye, is trying to figure out how to connect the dots, the shapes, the pieces of the puzzle, where to put them, like here, like the top here and here. So this is like the tricky bit, right? But just kind of going around trying to get everything in the right place, approximately. Like, it's allowed to be off. But if, yeah. Yeah, it's called Herlitz My Pen. There is also a Faber-Castell calligraphy pen set, which is almost the same pen. If it's the same cartridges, it comes with the same like broad nibs, 3 nibs the set comes with. So I don't know if you can get this Herlitz brand everywhere, but Faber-Castell is pretty much all over the place. And there are some other ones I saw as I was shopping around. This one that's just called Online, the Online calligraphy pen, which is funny for a like an ink fountain pen to be called Online, but I think it's also like pretty much the same pen. Yes, Herlitz, Herlitz, and then my.pen. And I, interestingly, discovered this pen at the supermarket. All right, that's 5 minutes. I looked down just at the 5-minute mark, and I'll put another 5-minute timer on. So at the supermarket, it was like a back to school thing was happening, and I saw this calligraphy pen set. I was like, what? I'm going to get that. And it was amazing. It had such a definitive kind of influence on the way I drew at the time. I can't remember when exactly it was, maybe 6-7 years ago. But then I used it a lot because I was really focusing on ink at the time and had been using like an ink brush. And then I decided to, once I had this calligraphy pen, I was just drawing with it all the time and figuring out ways to to work with it, which was very, very interesting. And that's it. That's the reason why it's so cool. The dynamic line weight that you can. So a lot of this is really fine, but then you can get really broad and just like get these thick strokes and fill a lot of surface area. And I was using this for years before I got the parallel pen, which I also really, really like. But it's cool in a similar way. It's just like a baby parallel pen. It's not as broad. But yeah, being able to get that variety of line with one drawing tool, I think is really, really cool. And what's everyone else using today? What have you got in Zoom? Yeah. 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 It's been amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. Chris is in the Zoom room. Chris, who is the muse for the I module, is also my backup crew on Zoom, and also us. Yeah. It's really cool to see. Very, very cool. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and I like about the calligraphy pen, parallel pen. Oh yeah, that's so good. like this thing that I'm doing right here, where I'm trying to get some shading, but with ink, it's tricky to be subtle with it. But there is the possibility, if you kind of practice the hatching with a kind of light hand, you can put down some kind of variation like this. That's really interesting with the calligraphy pen. Catherine Farmer's joining us from Dublin. So cool. I hope you and your family are well. Jeeb, who is in the YouTube chat, is also one of our muses, which it's really cool. Like I really enjoy just getting in touch with people, connecting, just often asking, oh, would you be interested in us drawing you for this tutorial I'm doing, or this was the course. And I think I was asking people back in 2023. Like, it's been a long time coming, this course, and now it's out and people are doing it, and it's so cool to see. But yeah, it's just something that I've always really, really appreciated about the sketchy community. Because as I was getting interested in portraiture and thinking, okay, who should I draw? How do you find a muse? And to find this community of people sharing their photos with each other, for each other to draw from, was such a wonderful opportunity to connect to artists all over the place, and have all of these willing subjects and muses. It's so cool. So this course, as well as many other tutorials that I have made, feature really wonderful people as our muses. So it's really nice. I appreciate the fact that I've been able to connect with all of you through this process. So this is interesting. I really like the texture in between the gaps. The 10 minutes is up, by the way. In between the gaps of the pen marks. But just to fill it a bit with the water brush is really interesting as well, because it still has that variation, but it's kind of lessening the intensity of the white of the paper, which is cool. This is Pelikan Brilliant Black ink, which is water soluble, which is great for doing this kind of thing, because you can just touch it with water and let the ink flow. Whoop. I'm going to just pan down to this page for the next one. June's using a micron, but wants a water-soluble pen next. All right. Oh, this is really cool. So many cool references. This is another incredible photo by Don't Smile NYC, though I believe this was maybe in Italy. This is Ahmed, and super cool. This was interesting as I'm looking for faces in every direction, because it's frontal, but with that bit of elevation, like the view below the chin. It's putting everything like in a slightly different location, like the ears being dropped so low compared to like a normal kind of level frontal portrait. There's that bit of elevation to the chin, which puts everything in a different place, which is really interesting. Can I write down the names of the pens? Okay, you can start sketching. You'll have a little bit of bonus time with this. And I'll put it in the YouTube chat. Hairlitz my.pen calligraphy set. It came with 3 nibs, and so that's that. There's the Pilot parallel pen. I have a 3.8 millimeter. The one I'm using with the Hairlitz pen is 1.4 millimeter at the moment. Hairlitz is owned by Pelikan. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Good to know. Thank you for that information. Oh yeah, the shadow shapes are so cool. All right, June, you really want to get into Zoom? I'll try. something and hope it goes well. I'll put a Zoom link in the chat in case you really want to come over to Zoom, and hope that no strange bots come and crash the party, which has happened in the past. That's good. Good to have a bit of fear. All right. Yeah. It was all right. Let's sketch. Let's sketch, and I'm busy reading the chat. Jeeb says, one trick I learned is to turn the reference photo upside down. Yeah. What was the question? Any tricks for keeping my brain in observation mode the entire practice? Yes, turning the reference upside down, that is a very good trick. Also, interestingly, and the results can actually be really, really cool. Like drawing with your non-dominant hand, or doing a continuous line drawing, hi Sandra. Those are things that will also keep you looking in a certain way. I'll put the timer on now. And yeah, keeping an observation mode, that's interesting because like you may hear something and learn something and practice something, but yeah, it's very easy just to kind of slip into your default mode of doing things, and then when you realize, oh wow, I'm not actually maybe I'm not even looking at the reference, I'm just drawing what I think is there. When you catch yourself, then to be like, how can I switch back into that observational mode? That's a very good question. Yeah, when you flip it upside down, because the upside down form is not how you're used to seeing it, then it really gets you to pay attention. And although we won't be doing that with every reference through our artistic journey, maybe there's some people that do keep flipping things on their heads and putting them upside down, but just practicing like that, if you then realize, like, you can notice, oh, I'm thinking differently, I'm looking differently, because you just have to kind of look at it in a different way than you normally would, and if you recognize that feeling of how you're observing and how you're looking at things, then it may be easier to kind of switch into that. Oh, there we go. In Zoom, I just spotlighted myself for everyone, just in case you're wondering. So just having tried that with the upside down reference, I remember it's been a few years since I've done it, but the first time I did it, I was like, it really, with that book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, which is really great, that has a few exercises that really get you looking at things differently. It was such an interesting feeling to be like, oh wow, that's the one, that line drawing by Picasso, and she's got that as an example in the book and gets you to turn it upside down, or it's upside down in the book to draw from, and it's that was a really cool exercise. So if you like try that out with upside down reference, or if you're looking at an iPad, maybe you could tip the whole thing, put it in orientation lock, tip it upside down and draw like that. If you're watching this right now and you want to try it out, or any tablet or device. Browsing Pinterest upside down, that's a cool idea. Once you practice that a few times and you feel the feeling of like, it feels different the way you look at it. At least that's how it feels to me. or it did feel like it, and it was so different the first time I did it. And having done that a few times, I realized that sometimes I can settle into that mode of really just being in observation mode, which is a really nice way to put it. Huh. I don't know why the zone link is not working. That is strange. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Oh, and another thing for those of you who are in the course, by the way, sign up by tomorrow because you won't be able to after that. But right after this, I'm going to try within the course, just a little trial. I'll do a live meetup because I've not yet done it within the course, which I think is different to within the community like I did last week. So I'm just going to try that out. And if any of you are still here hanging around, once I get to the end of the stream and you're in the course, head over to the course page and try it out with me. Because I think it will then have the active meetup space open within the lesson plan. I think and hope that's going to be how it works. And by testing it now, we'll know how it's going to work tomorrow. All right, that was the first 5 minutes of this 10-minute portrait. Drawing, this is a smaller scale than I often draw in these live streams, and drawing at a smaller scale can be, for quicker sketches, it can be amazing to do big stuff, but I find it can be kind of helpful depending on the way you're looking at things. All right, so that's got all this stuff. There's all these shadow shapes, which I was talking about on many occasions, how all the shadow shapes, they help you figure out where to put things. So if you're aware of those as you're sketching that will help you find like where's the corner of the mouth, where's the nose. And I've been looking at them, although I haven't been talking about it. I've been looking at where all these shadow shapes are to help me kind of make my decisions of where to put things. And in a moment, I'm just putting these marks down. I don't want to go too heavy with it and outline everything, but I'm putting these marks down, and now with the water brush, in a moment, I'm going to kind of go between those spaces, which is different than the sketching I've done in the course tutorials. There I wasn't using the water brush, I was just using hatching. But this year, the combination of calligraphy pen and water brush is something that I've really, really enjoyed a lot. How is everyone? I went foraging for walnuts today. Yeah. It's been such an incredible autumn. So many. In German it's called a must here, which I had not heard before, but it's where just a year where there is so much fruit and so many nuts and so many berries. Like, it's been quite amazing, because there will also be years where there's not so much, but this year there's a lot. And I eat a lot of nuts, so I thought it's a great opportunity to forage. Because buying nuts is expensive. And at the moment, they're lying around on the ground. That was a bit a bit heavy-handed on that mark right there. But that's how it is. Putting something in the background here just to make that hair look really bright. Using that ink to push out to make that bleached hair bright. Using the brush for that is really cool, just to get a bit of ink just from the line work that's already existing there, which I think is pretty fun to just take that and move it around. I have to be careful not to get too wet because in a moment I want to turn the page so I can draw on the other side. Hello, Eric. Madeleine. Thank you for sharing your amazement. 42 people are watching this right now. That's a lot of people. Say hello in the chat. That's amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and drawing along. Oh, exciting news is this week I'm going to be hosting 2 episodes of Drawn Together. And there's been a lot of change, a lot of processing of things. I will be no longer co-hosting with Shannon for now, which makes some things. It's sad, it's different, but I'm really excited to keep going. And Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. German time, there will be a show with Carlo, who is over here. This is Carlo, who I drew in a stream a couple of days ago. And after drawing him, he was like, oh, it'd be so cool to live stream with you. And I was like, oh, should we do it next week? So Carlo is a prolific, amazing artist from Brazil who's just painting and sketching so much. That's going to be really cool, hanging out and chatting. And then Thursday morning, my time, 10 a.m., this is very new, I'll be having Tika on, who I have drawn and sketched, and we've sketched together in live streams. So Tika will be joining, which is really cool because normally the normal stream time, I imagine Tika is in India, and often people are asleep at that time when I would usually stream. So that is a new thing, to be able to do Drawn Together in the morning, my time. So that's kind of exciting and new, and I will be posting about that in the upcoming days. Be amazing if you're able to join. Haha, here comes Linda. Linda found the link. Kiki says, hashtag I want to win. Yay. Everyone who wants to win can say hashtag I want to win. Hello Ingrid. Hello Ike. So nice to have you here. Okay. Next up, we have Leela Harris, who has been doing so much cool stuff. Oh, and by the way, at Don't Smile NYC is the photography account of Amy Horowitz, who is an incredible street photographer. All of the ats I have on the reference images are Instagram handles, so you can follow, tag, share your love and appreciation for the people who we are drawing or working from their photos. So here's Leela Harris. Yeah, and Leela has been doing super cool stuff. So much cool stuff. Calligraphy, book projects, museum projects, so much really cool, content-wise really cool, visually so amazing. I really enjoy Leela's work and very happy to be sketching Leela today. I'm going to grab a different calligraphy pen. This is the Sailor Fude de Mannen 55-degree nib, and I'm going to mix it up a bit and use this one as well. Oh, look at all those hashtag I want to wins. Linda's here. So nice to have you here. Rachel wants to win but doesn't want to destroy my sketchbook. Yeah, we'll find a workaround. Maybe I won't just destroy my sketchbook. Maybe I'll do a new sketch for you. So for those of you who participated in my live stream giveaways in the past, whenever I do these multi-portrait streams, I give one of the drawings away. This is tricky because it's in a sketchbook. But I was talking to Kira about this dilemma that I have repeatedly, where I'm like, it gets to the end of the live stream and then want to find out who wins, and then everyone just has to sit and wait. And until now, I have, since I stopped using StreamYard, which had this cool automated giveaway selector thing built in, but it also costs €50 a month to use StreamYard, so I stopped. I would make these lists, and then I'd go to random.org and pick a number, and it would take a while. And I felt like, it's really exciting, someone's about to win something, and then it felt really kind of anticlimactic. Everyone would have to sit around and wait. And Kira had an idea. Kira has lots of good ideas. Kira's like, how about you just roll a 20-sided dice, and then whatever number it is, you just go down the chat and count that far. And I was like, oh, okay, but what if it's not? What if 20 people haven't entered? Which is like, well, then just start from the top and count through until you get to the number. And I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. And should it so happen that more than 20 people enter, then I guess I could roll 2 dice. That would be exciting, I think. I could even like put the camera down to the dice, and you could count through with me. But then if I count wrong, if you go through the chat and you're like, hang on, that's not that, what about that? Then yeah, well, we will see. We'll figure it out. But it's an exciting idea. Yeah. But if I roll a 20-sided dice and number 1 comes up, then number 1 wins. I guess it doesn't need to be 2 dice. If I rolled a 20 but I roll 20, roll again, or I roll 20, but 30 people have entered the giveaway, then I reach the bottom of I reach 20, but there are still more I want to wins, and then I start the 20 again, and then it will come back around, and then that would be if 30 people entered, then it would be the 10th person who wins. So that would be pretty random. I think that could work. So not 2 dice, 1. Kira has lots of good ideas. If anyone else has good ideas, please share them. I always like to hear good ideas. Yeah. Oh, thank you for reading the questions. That's so good, Chris. Thank you so much. How do I decide where to start a sketch, Lisa Marie? Whatever kind of grabs my attention. And it was here. I really like glasses. The eye in the frame of the glasses here, that grabbed my attention. That's where I started. And this is interesting because this time I'm just kind of like fairly slowly just kind of building out from this one starting point. And I feel like 10 minutes may not be enough for this one. Also because it's such a dark image, I'm going to have to, it'll take quite a bit to fill in. That's my experience. When there's a lot of darker values, it just takes more time to draw unless you've got a big brush and you can just lay it all down with the brush. But I suspect, my feeling is this one's probably going to take me longer. But it'll be a 10-minute start and we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's amazing, these shadows here. Oh yeah, and I don't know if I got around to saying it. I was thinking it. But sometimes I think things and then I think other things and then I start saying things and then I don't say what I'm thinking. And, but I'm going to say that Leela is in the Kanyo chat and also on the Museum by Sketchy app, which are 2 indispensable reference sharing communities. Super cool. And a lot of the images that I find and share are from the Kanyo collective reference sharing chat, public reference chat, and the museum app, and leaders on both of them. Yeah, unfortunately that is true. The museum app is only available on Apple. And I once asked why that is the case, because that was 5 minutes. Let's keep going, another 5 minutes now. And apparently it started as an Apple app, and there are things from the early decision-making phase that make it only possible. It would be like have to build up a whole new app to make it Android as well. At least that's what I heard back when I asked the creator of the Museum by Sketchy app, why only Apple? And there are certain things at a foundational level in the app which make it impossible to now that it's such an established app, it can't be just kind of remade for Android as well. That there are some challenges to it, which I don't understand, but that was the... Okay. Yeah. And yeah. And there is the Sketchy Art School, which is the kind of grew out of the Museum by Sketchy app, and that has a website that's accessible on every platform, but it doesn't have access to the entire like wealth of references. The Kanyo chat is on Telegram. And where those people are active, a lot on Instagram. Some people there aren't on Instagram. And I feel like both apps are fairly international, which is really cool. And some of the people that we've sketched, I think Daria, who sketched earlier this year, doesn't have Instagram, but she has a Telegram channel. So, but a lot of people are active on Instagram. Hi, Eddie. Corinna, the dice idea sounds great. If you're counting correctly, who cares? We're all just delighted that you're making the offer. We're not going to bitch if you get it wrong. You love me too much. Oh, that's nice. It would just be my own thing that I'd be like, because I sometimes I'm numerically challenged, but I should be able to roll the dice and then count through that many names. I think that should work. But when I'm doing a lot with numbers, and a lot of different numbers, it can be very difficult. Yeah, it's like my mind slows down and things become very challenging. I had this wonderful scene where I took Arvid, who is 9, who loves numbers and reading and lots of things, and I was trying just to measure the pretty simple dimensions, a big rectangle, so one side of a rectangle and the other side, and I had this 2 meter measuring stick, Zollstock in Germany, that's the way you measure things here, and I was just trying to measure 2 meters, 4 meters, 8 meters, and Arvid found a receipt on the ground and just started reading the whole thing and reading all the prices, and it took me so long to just be able to measure the dimensions of this basketball court and all the numbers he was reading, mixing in with my 2, 4, 8, and then I'd be like, wait, I've got to start this again. It was a very funny scene. It's like, Howard, can you just stop reading that for 2 minutes, and then you could just keep going. But I was unable to separate the numbers that were coming out of him with what I was trying to measure, even though it seemed like very simple measurements to me. I've only got 15 seconds left. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I thought yeah. It's just like, oh, no, that was it. I was looking for this pen. So this is the parallel pen, which is a lot broader. So this one I was working with before is a 1.4 millimeter nib, and this is a 3.8 millimeter nib. So you can fill in a lot of ink with this one. And I was just about to go for it, and then I couldn't find the pen because I hadn't taken it out of the drawer yet. All right, thank you very much, Leela. Yutta G is also on Kanyo. 45 people are watching now. Say hello in the chat if you haven't yet. I would love to hear from you. And I'm going to do a giveaway. I'll sketch something for someone. Hashtag I want to win. If you want to win. I don't have a dice here. Okay, Yutta. Yeah, and by the way, so there's the Kanyo public reference chat, which I was talking about, where a lot of people are sharing such images of themselves for people to draw and paint from. And that's part of Kanyo. And another part of Kanyo is this month, there's the Kanyo Sketch It Challenge. And the idea is, can you fill a sketchbook in a month? And this little sketchbook right here, I'm going to try and fill this month. And there is a Kanyo Sketch It Instagram account, and in the stories, so much incredible work is being done. And anyone who sketches something and tags Kanyo Sketch It gets shared to the stories, I think, and it's really, really cool to see what people are doing, because it's just kind of amazing. It's just so cool, because this whole thing, like, and some of the people there don't usually do sketchy stuff that I'm used to seeing. They do a lot of like polished, fancy paintings, which is amazing and so cool. And then to see them like doing these really brief sketchbook things is exciting. All right, let's draw Yutta. I'm going to have a little drink. Everyone, stay hydrated. Drinking is important. It's true. It's a piece of sage advice and a threat all rolled into one. All right, let's draw. June, I'm using a pink watercolor pencil. I don't recommend it. I imagine it would be very faint, right? I'll do my 5 minute thing again. Oh yeah, a lemon yellow watercolor pencil would be like so hard to see. So yeah, here to the question, like, where do you start drawing? It's just like, oh, that shape in the hair, that just grabbed my attention, and I just started drawing it. And I feel that just start with what grabs your attention, is born out of the weekly sketch practice, which I do on Tuesdays. And it's been almost 6 years, every Tuesday, 2 hours of portrait sketching in Zoom. And all of you, all 45 people here, you're welcome to join every Tuesday. It is so much fun. It's such good practice. You don't have to have your camera and microphone on if you don't want to, but it's super fun if you do. And we draw each other. And then we start with 30-second poses, then 1 minute, 2 minute, 4 minute, and 6 minute poses. Spend 2 hours, sketch like 26 portraits, And the thing of just like starting rather than deliberating about, how are we going to do this? If you think too long and you've only got 30 seconds, then the time's up and you haven't done anything yet. So just starting somewhere. And then I realized after a while, like, because people often ask, particularly during these live streams, like, how do you choose where you start? And and I think I've just in recent months been thinking about it more, that I think it's super interesting because it's something about the way my gaze, or yours, depending on the way you look at things, and maybe we see things differently and different things will stand out to us, that my sound has gone for everyone, not in Zoom, right? Has my sound gone for everyone? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, YouTube? Hey, Carl, what is this pen? Welcome, nice to see you. It's a 3.8 millimeter Pilot parallel pen. Can you hear me? Okay, Martina can hear me, good. All right, cool. All right, that's good. So, yeah, nice to have you here, Carl. Carl and I met, when was it? 2011 or 12? So cool to see you pop in. And this may be the coolest pen there is. It's not definitive, but it's such a cool pen. You can get the same pen in lots of different widths, the nib. And actually this is the only one I have, but I do have other smaller ones of different brands. But the size of this is so cool. Like, it's a calligraphy pen, and it's just so cool for sketching with. Oh, yeah, I've seen people doing that with calligraphy, blending. So some people will have a bunch of these different sizes and pens, and you can have different inks in the different pens, and then if you touch the inks together, they'll like bleed into each other, which is very cool. I don't know, maybe you can get a converter. So that's an interesting thing as well, while we're on the topic of calligraphy pens. I refill my pens with a syringe because I don't like buying cartridges. and then I can use the same ink that I like to use from the bottle in any pen. Because that's part of the thing. You buy the pen, and then it's like, hey, subscribe to our ink cartridge service. And I'm like, no. I like being able to refill, and I like not having so much waste. So yeah, there are converters, which I can show you in a moment. Not in this one, but in the Hurlitz pen, I have a converter, which I can dip into my ink well and bring ink up into it, which is really cool. And I don't know if these ones do. They could do. Oh, learning to see shapes. I have, like, earlier this year, it was my theme for the whole month, shapes. 2 months even. I think I did 1 month with shadow shapes, and the other month I called value shapes. So one thing you can do is go back into the replays of my live streams, and I do a whole lot of it. I can talk about it endlessly. I love it. It's a topic, seeing and drawing shapes that I like a lot. Was that 5 minutes or 10? Does anyone know? Did I put on the second 5-minute timer? All right. I'll put on another one, because why not? It looks like it could be 5. Learning to see shapes, or refining your perception of shapes, is so cool. And it starts with, like, I did a Patreon tutorial earlier this year, when I was doing the month of shadow shapes, where I did these 3 portraits. One was a no-tan drawing, so it was with the parallel pen, and it was just black and white with no subtle tonal variation. And that's like the most reduced way of seeing shapes. Is like if you can just make 2 values of the drawing, and just decide what's bright and what's dark, and just put it in. That's like the most basic, just those 2 values. That is a really cool exercise. And then if you add like another value and you've got 3 values, that can be really cool. And if you do 5 values and try and separate things into 5 values, then it starts looking like with 5 values you can get pretty realistic in your tonal variation. Also, having good reference, like something which is illuminated in such a way that you have really clear shadow shapes, that helps so much when you're refining your perception of shapes. If you have really clear reference, that's super helpful. Because if you have like studio lighting, frontal, like evenly lit, that is like the hardest thing I find. But as you keep refining your perception of shape awareness, even within that kind of stuff, you start to see in that super like bright kind of exposure, like here, there are a lot of shapes within the shapes on the light side of the face, and I don't want to go filling it in and putting stuff in with the ink brush because I feel it'll be like a bit heavy for the value structure of this image. But you can start to become aware of those shapes, and they can help you figure out where to put other shapes, which is really cool. So yeah, my recommendation would be just try seeing things, try reducing it to values, and also watch the replays of my videos. When was it? March, April, maybe? Because I spent a whole month doing daily live streams just talking about shadow shapes the whole time. Yes, Carl, it is such a versatile pen, and that's what I love about these really broad drawing tools that you, like, look at these super thin lines. And I haven't gone very thick and heavy. I could do so now, but because just look at this, like you can do these lines with this pen. And at the same time, yeah, 4 nib sizes. There's definitely smaller, and there's also bigger than this. If I were to get another one, I would go even bigger. But they use a lot of ink when you're using the broad side of the nib. So you can do this, and then like these wispy strands of hair, and everything in between, because you can like twist the pen as you draw, and then you've like, depending on what angle you're holding at as you're making your marks, it's so versatile. It's so cool. Pilot parallel pen. I would happily be sponsored by Pilot. For a long time I was making my own pens, which I still think is awesome, from branches of trees, and I made some really broad nibs. But what is super convenient about these is just having the reservoir of ink, which with dip pens, it's fine if you've got a lot of time and you're happy to wait for things to dry. But this is very, very convenient. So that was 10 minutes. Okay, so this pen has a cartridge here, and if you're drawing big and you're doing a lot of this, you'll use a lot of ink. So I tidied them away, but I have various bottles of ink, and with a syringe, I use my kneaded eraser and I stick the cartridge up so it doesn't fall over, because you don't want to get your ink everywhere. And once I've got that, or I've got this sticky stuff that I can stick things to the walls with, you need to have something to hold the cartridge, and then you can use the ink, the little syringe to refill the cartridges, or with this one. This is a converter, which you screw this, you put this end down in the ink bottle, and it has like a little suction cup, which just by screwing that, it will draw the ink up into the cartridge. So you can use this again and again and again and again and again, and never have to buy a pack of cartridges. But if you're wondering, if you're new to all this stuff, you're like, what are cartridges? What are you talking about? This is a cartridge. This is the cartridge it came with. And you can put another cartridge inside for when it runs out. But this is fairly new, and I've only just started really using it. But I will also just refill it when it's done. Oh yes, Navid, you can definitely share your work on Instagram and tag me. I would love you to. That would be such a pleasant thing to see your work. So here, at Dylan_Sara, that's my Instagram tag. And if you feel like it, you can use the hashtag Drawing with Dylan. And by the way, the course, which is enrollments will be closing tomorrow. Here's the link to that if you want to check that out. Yes, I would love to see your work, so please do. Thank you for asking. Definitely would love to see your work. So we have one more reference for today. And this is another one from our beloved photographer, Radha Sadigova. She is so cool. Her work is so cool. And I would strongly recommend that everyone follow her on Instagram, because she does just incredible travel photography, and check out her stories, because there are a lot of behind the scenes from her journeys. She shares drinking tea with people, being on the road, so many things, all these extra insights into the experience of her photography. And this was from a trip to Tibet. And this has incredible shadow shapes. Also the angle of the head, like looking up, but the head tilted down. There's so many cool things going on. I may leave the hands out since it's just a 10-minute portrait. We'll see. Last drawing for today. It's been so nice having you all here. And by the way, people who are in Zoom, if you're able to talk and draw at the same time, feel free to chat. Someone tagged me in a post on Instagram. Are you here? Just got a notification. Feel free. That's a really cool thing. And also there is a link to my Discord server down in the description. And I share daily references there. So all of these are references which I shared to Discord. And if you would like to, please join my Discord. And you can share your work there as well. Hashtag I want to win, if you want to win a sketch. This last drawing is a challenge. I avoided it on Discord. It's going to be so good. All right, I can talk through my decision-making process. But the shadow shapes in this, the nose, just that clear, dark shape under the nose, that's going to be where I start. Let me know in the chat, where would you start with this portrait? Starting with the eye on the right, that's an interesting place to start. So condensed, and the angle is it's really good. So a good thing to notice with these is the corner of the eye compared to where the next eye is, and the top. So interesting. Like, because this thing of the angle, we tend to flatten these things out and then it gets really difficult. But if you can notice like that angle is, it may seem really extreme to be drawing the eyes on that line, but when the corner of the eye is here and the next eye starts down here, it's like, it seems like it doesn't make sense. But that is a classic thing that is easy to get wrong in the drawing because it just seems. I said I was going to start with the nose, but I'm really interested in the eyes as well. But okay. Upper eyelid, plaquita. Okay, I'll start with the nose. And it's pretty nice, dark shape. If we like simplify the shadow shape, because it's quite dark, like it could be nice to get really clear with the nostril, but it's kind of just melding into the shadow. So even though we know the nostril is like a distinct shape, if you can't actually see it like that, then you don't have to draw it either. When you realize that, then when you do see it, you also can make the choice not to make it discernible. So many things we can do. Okay, from here, this little shape here, there's like a shadow shape, pretty light value shape going up to here, and like the corner of the eyes maybe here. The angle looks kind of like that. And it's such a steep angle. And this is something that happens so often. I've done it so often. If you have never flattened out a tilted perspective in a portrait, let us know in the chat. But it's such a easy thing to do, to like draw the next eye too high. You're like, okay, the corner of the eye is here. I put the other corner of the eye here, and then you're like way off. It's a classic thing when you start noticing that, and you really catch yourself before you make that mark, so that you put it in the right place. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a really cool observation. The eye on the right and the shadow under the nose, like to see where that tiny little shadow is starting. It's like it's at the same level as this shadow here. That's amazing. the eye is coming all the way down there. That is such a cool observation. Oh. Yeah. It'd be worth drawing 100 times, but we could, if we followed this angle, we could kind of be like, okay, if that kept going down here, then I'd end up here with the eye. That can be a helpful way to look at it. But also just using the surrounding shapes. The corner of the eye goes to here, and then between here and here, looking over at the reference, like finding whereabouts it is. Is that halfway? Is it a bit higher than half or less? And to be able to find where that is, to commit to it with the ink. It's really a good way to practice committing to things using ink. That's so interesting. Like how far away that is. So this is like really fitting for this month's theme, which is faces in every direction, which is the idea of like many different orientations, which is also within the course. Something people have said that they would really like to learn how to draw heads that are not just frontal portraits, because it can be so hard. Okay, here the corner of the mouth is like, comes about as far as where the wrinkles are here. So that can, just checking in with that on the reference can really help. And the same kind of angle that we have of the eyes here is this line. It's going to kind of echo that angle. So yeah, being able to be in that observational mode where you're really checking, okay, how is that compared to that? Because if we have the gift of really good reference, then there's so much information on there. And when you see an image and you think that is beautiful, that is amazing, there's something powerful about this image, that'll be part of like what draws you to it. What's the first mark you make? All right, that was the first 5 minutes. This is really interesting, just how it is right now. So I'm going to take a work in progress shot. Yeah, what is it about an image that makes it like moving? What moves you to want to draw something? And sometimes it can start with a concept, like you have a narrative or something that you want to do, but often I will just be reference farming as I'm looking on Instagram or checking Kanyo and just finding, what's something that makes me want to draw it. And then if you can, to some extent, faithfully represent some of that quality of what makes it so amazing, powerful, sad, funny, calm. And it's just being able to look at what's actually going on and represent it in a certain way, whether it's the value relationship that makes it feel a certain way, the edge control. There's so many really subtle transitions between value shapes in this one. A lot of amazing shapes. And yeah, the transitions between them, like here we have there's this one wrinkle here which is really pronounced, but a lot of the shapes have really gentle transitions. Yeah. Carl says what to put in and what to leave out is often one of the biggest struggles. I've usually put too much in, still working on that. Yes, that is huge, because there's so much there as well, and there is so much in this image. It's and that's the thing, that it's a gift that there's so much, because there's all these things to compare, but then it doesn't all need to be there. And what is going to serve that, the quality of the image that kind of made us want to draw it, and whatever direction we're taking our drawing in, like what's necessary to draw to convey some sense of that elusive thing. Yeah. Yeah, controlling the focal point it's a huge thing. Because then, like here, I was just wondering, there's the way this background shape interacts with the forehead is really interesting. But as soon as I put that down, it's like, is this going to help frame the edge of the face, or does it become like a distracting extra element? And yeah, that's the thing, that each line and each choice you make really influences the focal point. And so that's now, it's like, what do I do in service of this beautiful expression and the kind of the focus and calm of this image? And I just noticed here, it could be, you could just do a drawing of knuckles. That would also be just an amazing hand reference. But how much of the hand do I really want to put into this drawing? Yeah, and then Carl further said, it's a weird balancing act, sometimes having to forget what you were drawing and just look at them as abstract shapes. Yes. And then making sure to switch back to what you know to inform your choices. Yeah. Maddie the Moth, I love your username. What pen am I using? It's a Pilot Parallel Pen 3.8mm nib, and it is a very good pen. Thank you for joining. So this is the, oh, it's almost over. It's sad. Yeah, I could definitely draw this for an hour. Yeah. And it also beautifully points to what's so cool about drawing sometimes is, it can really be a meditative process. So just focusing on this wonderful image, like what is also the content, what's the focal point, and yeah, what is the thing about this that makes it so compelling. By the way, if you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. And give this video a thumbs up. That is the chimes signaling the end, the drawing to a close of our time together today. For those of you in my facial features course, we are going to meet again tomorrow. We'll be spending some time together tomorrow, and the coming 5 Sundays, there'll be live sessions. And if you would like to join my facial features course, which there's a lot of really foundational practice and perception and understanding in there, the registration is closing tomorrow. So visit the link, which is in the description and also right here. It's been really cool seeing the work people are doing already. And I would love to have you join the course if you feel so inclined. And I'll have a look if there are any other questions. If anyone else wants to win, I will see how we go. Oh yes, hey S, have you written to me yet? I've been waiting for you to write to me. You won a giveaway, and I still don't know where to send it to or what drawing you want. Drawing hand emojis in the chat, that's always a beautiful thing to do. At the end of any of my videos and live streams, if you've made it to the end of this, please put a drawing hand emoji in the chat. I wonder if there's a website where you can roll a 20-sided dice, and then I'll count through the I want to win comments. Roll a D20 die. All right. Roll a die. .net is where you can do that. Okay. 14. I don't know if that many people have said that they want to win, but I'm going to read through now. I'm going to put my thumb up. I want to win. 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 How's the suspense? IMC. Now I'm seeing these things that I missed in the conversation. I want to win. Navid, you win. It was the 14, and I was like, there's not 14. I'm going to have to go back to the beginning. Navid wins. Just in the moment that you wrote, I want to win, you won. Congratulations. What do you win? You can send me a reference, and I'll do a sketch of it. And also send me your address. So are you on Instagram? If you are, write to me there. Congratulations. And thank you everyone who played along. So I was just about to go back to the beginning and start counting through again, but I didn't. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate having you here. I love drawing together. It was super cool having you in the chat. Carl, I saw you mentioned the IMC. It was at the IMC we did meet, yes. I was there twice. I've been to the States twice. Both times were for the illustration masterclass, and I learned so much there and met so many amazing people. Congrats, Navid. Thank you to everyone who joined in Zoom. Even if you, my pleasure. Even if you didn't speak up, it's just nice having you here. I see your faces and I appreciate the company. It's really nice having you here. And for those of you who are already in the course, maybe you're about to join and that would be amazing. But I'm going to go over to the course page now and I'm going to start a live meeting just as a test. We're not really going to do anything. But if you want to pop over and just see how it works with me, then do so. That's about to happen as soon as I end this live stream. All right. That is the question. So go to the course page where it shows the lessons and the modules, because that's the way I see it from the back end. I see where all of the lessons are laid out, and there's a button that says go live within that. So that's what I'm wondering. Do I press that button and then it becomes visible in the course layout, or is it visible in the community? So go to the main course page and we're about to find out together how it works. And A_S_, you write to me too, because I owe you a sketch as well. And for those who've recently won giveaways, I don't go to the post office very often, but I've collecting your prizes and I'll be getting them out to you soon. It's been a treat, everyone. Thank you so much. And we'll draw together sometime soon. Take care, and until next time. Cool. Thank you so much, Zoom friends.